You know, you walk into a really high-end med spa, and you are instantly hit with this very specific, meticulously crafted
Oh,
atmosphere.
absolutely. The whole vibe.
Right. You smell like a subtle hint of eucalyptus. You hear this soft ambient music playing. The waiting room is perfectly polished, serene, and, it feels completely effortless.
Yeah, it's designed to make you relax instantly.
Exactly. And as a patient, you think you're paying for that serenity. But you're actually paying for square footage, capital expenditure, and, well, laser diodes. Because behind that tranquil waiting room, there is a seriously cutthroat business reality.
Oh, man. It is a massive contrast between the front of house and the back of house.
It really is. And today we are looking at a single machine that basically dictates whether a clinic thrives and scales or just bleeds money until it has to close its doors. Welcome to today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me. And, as a consumer, as a patient, you really only experience the final results in that relaxing environment you mentioned. But behind the scenes, clinic owners are operating in a market with just brutal overhead costs.
I mean, the rent alone in those neighborhoods.
Exactly. The equipment they choose to put in those rooms isn't just a clinical decision. It is a high-stakes financial calculation. I mean, choosing the wrong piece of hardware can literally tank a business within a year.
And that's exactly why we're here. So our mission today, we've got our hands on this fascinating document titled The ROI Advantage of TORLASE by CPMT Laser.
Right.
And we are using this to look behind the curtain of the modern aesthetic industry. We're going to see how this specific piece of technology balances, top-tier medical care with some very serious, aggressive return on investment.
But what stands out immediately in this documentation is that CPMT Laser didn't just build a medical device, they basically built a financial tool.
Okay, wow, a financial tool.
Yeah, it's designed to solve the sheer existential dread that keeps clinic owners up at night. They approached the engineering recognizing that a laser platform is like one of the largest capital expenditures a clinic will ever make.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because before we can talk about the financial engineering, I feel like we have to understand the actual physics under the hood, right?
Absolutely. The business model falls apart if the machine doesn't actually deliver results.
Exactly. So, according to the source, the TORLASE platform combines two distinct laser technologies into a single console. You've got the Alexandrite laser operating at 755 nanometers and the ND.YAG laser operating at 164 nanometers.
Right, the 755 and the 1064.
So, assuming these aren't just like arbitrary model numbers, what do these specific numbers actually mean when that laser hits a patient's skin?
What's fascinating here is that those numbers are everything. I mean, in the world of laser physics, the wavelength, which is measured in nanometers, dictates exactly what tissue the laser will target. And honestly, just as importantly, what tissue it will ignore.
Okay.
The core principle here is called selective photothermolysis.
Wait, selective photothermolysis. So, using light, the photo part, to create targeted heat, the thermolysis.
Precisely. You want to heat up and destroy a very specific target, like, say, the root of a hair follicle. But you have to do it without burning the surrounding skin.
Right. Obviously.
So to do that, you rely on melanin, which is the pigment that gives skin and hair its color. The Alexandrite laser, at 755 nanometers, it sits at this sweet spot on the light spectrum where it is highly, highly absorbed by melanin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this makes it incredibly efficient at grabbing onto the pigment in a hair follicle, heating it up super fast, and destroying it.
Okay, so if 755 nanometers is so amazing at targeting melanin, why do we need the other one? Like, what's the point of the 1064 nanometer ND.YG?
Because high melanin absorption becomes a massive safety liability if the patient has a darker skin tone.
Oh, because there's more melanin in the skin itself.
Exactly. If you use a 755 nanometer laser on skin with high melanin content, the laser won't just target the hair follicle. It will be absorbed by the melanin in the epidermis, the actual surface of the skin.
Which I'm guessing leads to, what, surface burns?
Severe burns, blistering, permanent pigmentation damage. It's really bad.
Wow.
Historically, this meant aesthetic clinics simply had to turn patients with darker skin tones away. It was just a massive failure of the entire industry.
Right.
And this is where the 1064 nanometer ND.YAG comes in. At 1064 nanometers, the light has a much lower absorption rate for melanin, but it penetrates much deeper into the skin tissue.
Okay, let me see if I can visualize this. Because this is wild. If we think about the light spectrum, kind of like the sound spectrum, is having both wavelengths, like having a car that can switch between being a sports car for the highway and like a Jeep for off-roading, depending on the terrain. Or in this case, the skin type.
Yes, that's exactly it. Or
Yeah.
sticking with the sound wave idea, the 755 Alexandrite is like a high-pitched sound wave. It hits the first solid wall it finds, the surface melanin, and its energy is just completely absorbed right there.
Right. And the 1064.
The 1064 ND.YAG is more like a deep bass frequency from your neighbor's stereo.
Oh, yeah. We all know that sound.
Right. It bypasses that first wall, travels deeper through the tissue, and hits the deep parabulb without dumping all its heat into the surface skin.
That is such a brilliant analogy, and that fundamentally changes the business math, doesn't it? Because if a clinic only has the 755 nanometer machine, they can only treat a very specific demographic.
Yeah.
They are literally turning away paying customers because their equipment just cannot safely handle the biology. But by putting both wavelengths into the TORLASE console, they are unlocking the entire demographic spectrum.
Exactly. The foundational building block of this machine's value is absolute flexibility. They can safely and effectively target different skin types from one single console. A clinic owner never has to say no to a patient.
Which brings up my next question, because looking at this list of treatments in the document, this dual laser setup handles a lot more than just hair removal.
Oh, way more.
Yeah, we are talking vascular concerns, pigmented lesions, skin rejuvenation, facial veins, spider veins, wrinkle reduction, and PFB, which is pseudofolliculitis Barb, right?
Those are severe, painful razor bumps.
Okay, so clearly these lasers are acting like a Swiss Army knife. They're targeting things other than just melanin.
They absolutely are.
Right.
The NYAG, for instance, isn't just targeting the melanin in a deep hair follicle. It's also highly effective at targeting hemoglobin in the blood.
Oh, wow. Hemoglobin?
Right. So when a practitioner spots a spider vein, they use that deep penetrating 1064 wavelength to heat the hemoglobin. The blood literally coagulates, the vein collapses, and the body just naturally absorbs it.
Oh, okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Sure, go for it.
I understand the physics allow for all these different applications, but like, if I'm a clinic owner making a massive capital investment, I want clinical excellence. Doesn't a jack-of-all-trades machine run the risk of being a master of none?
I hear that a lot.
Right. Why wouldn't a clinic just buy specialized machines for each of these? If I'm charging a premium to zap spider veins, shouldn't I use a dedicated spider vein machine? Do you lose power by cramming it all into one box?
It's a totally logical concern, but it kind of misunderstands how the hardware actually functions. You aren't diluting the physics.
Okay.
A 1064 nanometer ND-YAG crystal inside a multi-platform machine is generating the exact same physical reaction as a standalone machine.
Oh, I see.
The innovation of the TORLASE isn't that they invented, like, a weaker compromised laser. It's that they engineered the power supply, the internal cooling, and the software interface to switch between these high-powered components seamlessly.
So the clinical efficacy is identical, but the delivery system is just centralized.
Correct. And when you realize the clinical results aren't compromised, you really have to look at the other side of your question, the reality of buying dedicated machines.
The business side.
Exactly. Let's do the actual math on a med spa. Space and capital are finite. Let's say you lease a clinic in a high-end zip code. You're paying, what, maybe $150, $200 a square foot.
Yeah, commercial real estate is brutal. Every single square foot needs to be generating revenue.
Right. And your treatment room might be, say, 120 square feet. If you buy a highly specialized standalone machine that only treats vascular lesions, how many patients a day are booking just that specific treatment?
Maybe one or two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the other 7 hours of the workday, that specialized machine is basically a giant paperweight gathering dust.
Very expensive paperweight.
It's worse than a paperweight. It's an active liability. You're paying debt service on the machine, you're paying rent on the floor space it occupies, and it is generating zero revenue. In business terms, that is terrible capital expenditure utilization.
Ah, I get it now. So the ROI advantage here is really about maximizing the revenue potential of a single room.
Precisely. By offering multiple services from one machine, a clinic transforms an ordinary room into a multi-treatment profit center. At 9 a.m., you treat spider veins. At 10 a.m., full-body hair removal. At 11 a.m., pigmented lesions.
It's just constant.
The machine is working more hours and serving more patients. It isn't sitting idle. It is justifying its footprint and its price tag every single hour of the day.
Okay, that makes total sense on a spreadsheet. The machine works 8 hours a day. The room generates maximum revenue. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
A massive menu of treatments doesn't actually matter if the patients hate the experience, right? Or if they just don't trust the clinic.
Oh, 100%. Perfect physics do not guarantee a perfect patient experience.
Because firing a laser into the skin generates heat. and human nerve endings interpret rapid, intense heat as pain.
Yes, they do.
If you've ever had laser hair removal, especially with older tech, it feels like a rubber band snapping against your skin, and there's that distinct smell of burning hair.
Yeah.
It is not the relaxing eucalyptus vibe we talked about earlier.
Not at all. And this is exactly why the documentation for the TORLASE emphasizes two very specific non-laser features. First, advanced cooling options for patient comfort.
Let's explore that, because I noticed the emphasis on patient comfort too, but mechanically, how does a laser machine stop a laser from hurting?
Well, it's a thermodynamic balancing act. We established that the laser must generate heat to destroy the follicle. You can't stop that heat or the treatment fails.
Right.
But what you can do is aggressively cool the epidermis, the surface of the skin, milliseconds before, during, and after the laser pulse.
So you're basically freezing the surface tissue so the nerve endings are numb while the laser does its damage underneath.
Exactly. Modern platforms use sophisticated contact cooling. Sometimes this is a chilled sapphire tip that touches the skin directly, pulling heat away instantly. Other times, it's a cryogen spray.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, by mitigating that surface heat, the patient's nervous system barely registers the trauma.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, a painless experience is actually a financial metric, isn't it? It's not just about being nice to the patient.
It is the ultimate financial metric. Think about the domino effect here.
Yeah.
The patient comes in for their first session, they're anxious. But the treatment is fast and genuinely comfortable because of the advanced cooling. What happens next?
Well, they finish the session, they're super relieved, and they probably immediately book their next 4 sessions at the front desk.
Exactly. They book the rest of the package. But it doesn't stop there. A painless experience leads to high patient satisfaction. Satisfaction generates positive reviews on Google. They tell 3 friends who were afraid of the pain.
Right, word of mouth.
Your repeat business skyrockets. You cannot separate clinical comfort from financial health. And, that psychology actually starts before the machine even turns on.
Which brings us to the second non-laser feature the source emphasizes, the professional, premium physical design of the machine.
Yes.
And I have to say, when you walk into a clinic, you're implicitly judging the medical expertise by the look of the equipment, right? Like, does it really matter if the machine is sleek and white versus looking like a clunky beige box from, 1998?
It matters immensely to patient psychology. When you walk into a clinic as a consumer, you have no way of evaluating the actual physics of the 1064 nanometer laser. You don't know what a capacitor looks like.
Honestly, no clue.
So your brain looks for proxies of competence. A sleek, premium design builds immediate subconscious trust. It actually lowers the patient's cortisol levels before the treatment even begins.
Wow. That is fascinating.
Yeah, CPMT Laser explicitly designed this with both the operator and the patient in mind. The operator feels confident holding a well-engineered tool, and the patient feels safe looking at it.
The psychology baked into the sheet metal. I love that. But let's bring this back to the absolute core theme of the source material.
Right, the bottom line.
Exactly. Cold, hard return on investment. The documentation focuses heavily on unbeatable quality price, fast payback, and long-term business growth. And one of the biggest claims they make is about this 2-year warranty on the TORLASE.
Which is a highly strategic offering in this specific market.
Now, I have to be honest, reading that initially, I was entirely underwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah. I get a 2-year warranty when I buy a toaster at the store. Is a 2-year warranty really something a sophisticated medical clinic bases a massive business decision on?
This raises an important question about the hidden catastrophic costs of running an aesthetic business. You are equating a warranty with just avoiding the cost of a replacement part.
Right.
If your toaster breaks, you're annoyed, but your life goes on. But in a med spa, you aren't just losing the cost of the repair part, you are facing the devastating ripple effect of downtime.
Downtime, meaning the machine literally just will not turn on.
Let's walk through this scenario. Imagine it's a busy Tuesday morning. You've invested heavily in marketing, and the TORLASE room is fully booked from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, pack schedule.
At 8:50 a.m., the operator turns the machine on, and it throws an error code. It's dead. What happens to the business in that exact moment?
It's just a cascade of failure. First, sheer panic. Then every single appointment for that day has to be canceled.
Right, so instantly, the thousands of dollars in daily revenue you projected vanishes. But you still have to pay rent for the day. You still have to pay the staff who are now standing around doing nothing.
But it's worse than just the lost revenue for Tuesday, isn't it?
Exactly. Think about those canceled patients. Some will be understanding and reschedule, but a disappointed patient might go back to their car, pull out their phone, Google a competitor down the street, and book an appointment there.
And they may never return to your clinic again.
Never. You haven't just lost Tuesday's revenue, you have permanently lost the lifetime value of those patients.
Wow.
You've lost the clientele, and you've damaged your reputation. That is why the source material places such extreme emphasis on a 2-year warranty and the reliable support from CPMT's professional engineering team.
It's not about the toaster part.
No. In this industry, a warranty isn't just about free repairs. It is a guarantee of business continuity. It ensures the clinic owner will not suffer that catastrophic domino effect of downtime.
Total risk mitigation.
Absolutely. When you factor in the competitive price, the ability to maximize your square footage, the patient retention from the cooling tech, and the protection against downtime, that is how you actually achieve the fast payback the document promises.
So, what does this all mean? When we take a step back and synthesize all these layers, the true innovation of platforms like TORLASE by CPMT Laser isn't strictly the medical science of the Alexandrite and NDY lasers. I mean, they are incredible applications of physics, yes, but the real breakthrough documented here is the financial engineering. It is a tool built explicitly to give medical spas a fighting chance in a highly competitive market.
By maximizing treatment flexibility, minimizing downtime, and ensuring strong monthly revenue.
Oh, exactly.
And looking at the claims in this source, it leaves you with a rather profound implication to mull over.
Oh.
We've seen how machines like TORLASE allow a single clinic to treat a wider variety of skin types and aesthetic concerns with one highly efficient, high ROI device.
Right, the Swiss Army knife.
If this kind of versatile, fast payback technology becomes the industry standard, could we eventually see the cost of these once exclusive aesthetic treatments drop for you, the everyday consumer?
Oh, wow.
Right. We might be looking at the exact mechanical catalyst that transforms luxury med spa procedures into highly accessible, routine personal care.
Transforming the whole industry, bringing that serene, polished waiting room experience and the results it promises to a whole lot more people.
Well, it's been a truly fascinating look behind the curtain today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.